So Joy to Key launches at startup, and I need to focus on it so you can see. Yeah, so you can see when Joy to Key is focused, you can see that I can do it's accepting inputs immediately. So just to show off the functionality of like what we've got here, I'm going to open WordPad. Up, down, up, down, and then up, down, spacebar, up. This is on the laptop uh, integrated keyboard now, and also spacebar, up, down. Um, all of the devices that the controller, the wireless keyboard, and the foot pedal, these all survive. Um, these all survive and remain connected to Windows through sleep cycles. It used to be that the controller was getting disconnected, but that's no longer the case because of I've switched controller adapters. Also, uh the foot pedal and the controller are plugged directly into USB ports on the laptop. Um, this thing and the laptop mouse are connected through a USB-C to USB dongle. Um, in the future, so I've ordered a wireless mouse so that I can turn the mouse, so I can physically turn the mouse off. Once that shows up, um, then I'll have a wireless mouse as like I feel safer with the mouse being wireless um than having the mouse be wired because like bumping the mouse could wake the computer up from sleep. And then if you turn off a wireless mouse can be turned off and then it's not able to send inputs. Like this, I can turn it off and then not only is it not sending inputs now, but it will also not wake up the computer from sleep if this is off. So we have we have three completely different input options, not counting the keyboard that's integrated into the laptop itself. And um all of them survive sleep cycling. Connect to the internet just to launch FF7. And then we're good to go. Oh, let's check audio. Okay. Yeah, so this keeps happening. I have to keep resetting the audio settings within OBS, but that's on OBS's end. That's not an issue with that's not an issue with the laptop itself. So you heard the first blip, now you hear all of the blip. Okay. I'm putting the Ethernet cable in. Oh, and get ready to choose a color for a corner. I don't see any colors in chat yet. Green, violent, neon green. There's space for one more corner color. That violet or violent? Hey, mercenary. Okay, we're going with 69, 69, 69. You're just a little bit too late. With your piss yellow, discard your time clock. Alright, Fiscal Lizard has connected. Fiscal Lizard is launching Final Fantasy VII. The disconnect. And now the plan is for this computer to not connect to the internet again for probably about 6 months. I've got another foot pedal back here for live split. Are you guys hyped AF? We solved, so basically yesterday, Cornfed, if you weren't around for yesterday's stream, yesterday was entirely, so we had a crash at the beginning of yesterday, and then pretty much the rest of the stream was working out, configuration and technical whatever issues, setup issues. Those are, to the best of my knowledge, now completely solved. Or we're in a way better situation now, than we were at any point previously. In previously, I was using, this on my desk, and another keyboard on the floor, and that worked fine, and I was using, another keyboard on the floor, that I was interacting with my feet. That worked fine until I started playing Dragon Warrior, and then a variety of issues arose. Like, playing Dragon Warrior with a keyboard on the floor, playing Dragon Warrior while playing FF7 with keyboard on the floor was just too much. Then I actually set up a proper foot pedal arrangement. So this here has 3 buttons. Effectively, this is down, this is up, and this is confirm. And I have X on a toggle. I can turn X on and off, so we effectively have automatic run. One of the major issues that I solved today, that we didn't get to fixing yesterday, but I solved today, is that when putting the computer into sleep and then taking it out from sleep, the PSX controller was losing connectivity, and I would have to unplug it and plug it back in. And having to do that is going to risk crashing, especially doing that, like, hundreds of times over the course of the run. But I now have that set up so that will... that's not an issue. So after we get to, like, level 8 or whatever, I'm gonna sleep the computer and then bring it back, and then you'll see that everything is still working. Okay, so we've got to do our colors. We've got green, violent, neon green, and 69, 69, 69. That's violent. Getting the green to be neon is going to be a challenge, I think. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's easy. And then 69s. Perfect. Hey, Ifrit. We got the bugs worked out, as far as I'm aware. Okay, now we're level 7. I've got a level counter set up, also. See that? Level 7. Once we hit level 15, then at that point we'll be 0.29% complete. Then each time that we go up a level, I'll increase the percentage completion. I'll update the percentage completion here. And at the beginning of each stream, if I haven't gone up a level, I'll increase the percentage completion. But for now, it's just going to be level because that is going to be changing too fast. We have to go to the second screen and then come back to the first in order to turn on X. And now, we can demonstrate. This is how I should do the grind most of the time. This should be my default method of doing this, because I need to get used to using the foot pedal. Because that's going to be the only viable option when playing other video games. So the only issue with the foot pedal is that it doesn't like it when you're doing two pedal inputs at the same time. Like if you have down held on the pedal and then add up, so you have both down and up held at the same time. So on a keyboard, that's fine. But the way the software works that's converting the foot pedal inputs to keyboard inputs, the software will get confused. So I need to release down before I add up when using the foot pedal. You had a tooth pulled yesterday, so you were here, but you really wasn't. Yeah. You sound like you're still a little bit gone on the basis of your spelling and punctuation. Ba, 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 ba. So another thing that we learned yesterday, or that we have learned so far, is that the fastest way to grind the early limits is to not do any damage harvesting, not do any damage grinding, whatever, for Blade Beam, and instead save all of your potions for right after you learn Meteor Rain, and immediately harvest as much damage as you can as soon as you learn Meteor Rain. And then go back and harvest your Blade Beams later. Also, as soon as we're able to kill things as soon as we're able to one-shot enemies from the back row, we should move into the back row. We can't even one-shot the dogs yet. Hey Vanderkish, hey Noki, and hey anybody else who I haven't said hey to yet. Oh, actually, I know what I should do. I should keep saying hey Cornfed over and over, so that Cornfed thinks that he's still on the drugs from the dentist. Hey Cornfed. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba, ba, ba. Nice miss. So another thing I need to do is practice playing off of OBS preview. It's possible that I might start... now that the foot pedal thing arrangement is working, I might start Dragon Warrior, relatively early. Like, while Cloud is still relatively squishy. Like, start Dragon Warrior after, like, 5 hours instead of, like, 9 hours. So as soon as I have a Chocobo, I'll keep it. Hey, Aghanim. You should also wish good afternoon to Cornfed here. Don't ask why, just do it. Oh yeah, yeah, this would be a good time. No, actually, when I'm harvesting damage, I'll show you my guitars. I could try to learn to play guitar during this. That's actually not as big of a joke as you would expect it to be. But you see those guitar cases behind me here? Like underneath the S, and I've got a coffin case there. Those actually have guitars in them. And I don't know how to play guitar. I could learn how to play guitar. I could attempt to learn how to play guitar. I'll be really good at using foot pedals by the end of this. So another thing is that from the first, like, the first 10 hours or so, okay, so we know that we got all of the limits in stream number 1 at 9 hours and 33 minutes and 34 seconds. So we've got... And we have better strats now. So... I'm expecting to be significantly in the green when we eventually get all of our limits. Since I have a more efficient way of getting finishing touch now. I don't know if this is the first Braver or not. We don't really need to count Bravers. The Bravers will happen automatically. No, it's not a TAS. It's a piss. Pedal involved speed run. Okay, now we're level 8. There was something... Yeah, I want to heal. And this lets me practice my... Save that file. Level 8. We did it. That was... I don't think he made it all the way through. I think he made it up until, like, Materia Keeper. He might have made it all the way through, but I'm of the... From what I remember, he made it to Materia Keeper on a dance pad. Was in Windows key issue resolved yesterday? Yes. We resolved a number of issues yesterday, and even more issues. I was planning on starting at, like, 9 a.m. instead of 1 p.m., and the difference between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., that difference was doing more configuration stuff and solving more tech problems. I think we are good to go. In the past, my controller was disconnecting when I would do sleep and wake cycles on the PC, on the laptop, and now it stays connected. I changed the controller adapter that I'm using. That's the big thing. There are a couple other things that I've tweaked that should make the system a little bit more, theoretically, more stable. So the biggest things are that the foot pedals are working. The foot pedal is working. The controller no longer disconnects. And the Windows key is disabled. AKRD. Oh, speaking of slippers. Once I'm harvesting damage, I actually have Highland Cow slippers downstairs that I should probably wear. Yeah, Cloud's Trifle, you're the one who's Scottish, right? Somebody who watches me is Scottish. So they'll probably appreciate the Highland Cow slippers. But yeah, they exist. They're downstairs. I need to get them. And if this ends up becoming a thing, then I might need to get an assortment of different slippers. Like, are there Bulbasaur slippers? Does anybody happen to own any Bulbasaur slippers? These are the questions that we really need answers to. We're getting good potion drops. Ba 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 ba. Hey, Cart 7. We've got royalty in chat. FF7 royalty here. Okay. I assume so. Okay, yeah, if Cart 7 confirms that it's Cart 7, then you know that there's 100% honesty involved. Has to be. Yeah, it's not Cart 6. Wait. We need to ask. Cart 7 is actually just Cart 6.9, and you rounded it up because you didn't want to have, like, the decimal thing in your username. They probably just didn't allow decimals in your username, right? So what we need is for, like, Terrence Ferguson to show up, also. FF7 Speedwalk, what is that? I have not heard of that. We're level 69 yet? Almost there. We're level 8. Which is another number. So that's pretty close, right? How do we know it isn't Carts even? That's a good point. It could be Carts even. Nice crit. I need to do some reading. So the incentives, devious. Once Cloud is a little bit non-squishy enough for me to be able to leave, to go downstairs, while farming some damage for a limit break. I have Highland Cow slippers. And so, probably will have incentives to put on and take off the Highland Cow slippers. And I should probably also get Bulbasaur slippers. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I need the Bulba slippers first. So what has to happen now? So also, if you don't like the foot cam, you can turn it off with 1,337 channel points, or with 69 or more bits. How many hours will it take? The rate of experience gain here is about 3 times slower. Alright, okay, we've got our first toggle. It's about 3 times slower than doing it in the reactor. Inside the reactor is about 400 hours, so doing it out here is at least 1,200 hours. Doing it on the first screen. Basically the main reason why for the difference is the enemies here give way less experience. Also, the danger increase per step is a lot lower, and we can't weight trick because we only have Cloud. So I'm expecting anywhere between 1,200 and 1,400. Because eventually, if you use the exclamation point grind command, and you'll see what my plans are for, like, later on in the grind. Once Cloud is not squishy, then my plan is to play other video games at the same time. Since I'm doing the grind with foot pedals, or with, you know, with my feet, that leaves my hands free to be able to play other video games. And so basically, I intend to use this as a way to, like, clear out my video game backlog and play a bunch of turn-based stuff that otherwise I've wanted to get around to and haven't gotten to yet, etc., etc. So I'm not just going to be running up and down doing nothing other than that, for very long. And you see in my splits here, my splits are, like, the second split is completing Dragon Warrior 1, then completing Dragon Warrior 2, completing Shining Force, etc. And then that'll keep getting updated. So the reason for the range, the range estimate from 1,200 to 1,400 is because playing those other games at the same time is probably going to slow down my process of doing inputs for the grind. So I'll be less efficient while I'm playing other games, but it will keep me from going insane. Why restarting? Yesterday's stream ended up being entirely solving tech issues. So the start of yesterday's stream, had a crash. Or, like, the game crashed, and so, like, that's bad. That forces you to restart because you can't save, because there's no save point out here. And then, basically, the rest of that stream was, working on solving various tech issues, and I believe I have everything pretty much resolved now. So we only actually lost, like, 10 hours or so of gameplay. Maybe 10.5 hours of gameplay, which really is nothing. We lost less than 1%. Yeah, the splits are... So, Blue Harvey, have you seen the grind document? Exclamation point grind. Or, like, click on the link when somebody else does that. the order of game. So I know the order of the first games that I'm going to play. Those being, yeah, there's a grind to dock. Those being Dragon Warrior 1, then 2, then Shining Force, then Dragon Warrior 3. After that point, what game I play, what order I play is not set in stone, and will get updated, you know, as I make the decision. Basically, the reason I'm starting with Dragon Warriors 1 and 2 is because they should be, like, basically the easiest games to play. While getting used to playing at the same time as grinding. Or level 9. Hey, Connor Cordelium.
You're following me.
Just a little bit.
So I remember there's like some like YouTube video of you saying that you were like deeply ashamed of ever having taken the name Cordelium. I assume that was just an alien impersonating you, right? Hey, Pepetsu. Oh, wait, that was like the thing that's pretending to be the president at the beginning of Final Fantasy VIII, right? Only it was just pretending to be Cordelium. Yeah, we got cart 7 here. Yeah, we get pot from the soldiers. We also get pot from the dogs. They're mule dogs. Bada, bada, bada. Yeah, the pot has restorative properties. You know, whenever you just need 100 hit points, get some pot. We're almost at 69 viewers already. Can I get sub 9 all limits? That's what we're hoping to do that. I think I probably can, by learning the limits in reverse order. Like, I'm gonna finish grinding Finishing Touch, before starting to grind Blade Beam.
You're following me.
Just a little bit.
Thanks to the follow, Cart 7. So the first run, the run that got to, like, level 21, crashed while changing keyboards, to try to deal with a Windows key-related issue. After that, there were a number of test runs. The rest of Stream 2, was just doing testing, basically testing. This here is the beginning of the next serious attempt. The good news now is that we have splits to run against for the limit breaks. For getting all the limits. If we can be in the green after getting all the limits, that would be really awesome. Bada, 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 bada. Yeah, the way I was doing it before was not efficient at all.
You're following me.
Just a little bit.
Thanks for the follow, Cobalt420. This is way easier with the foot pedal than with the keyboard on the floor. I don't know why I tricked myself into thinking that a floor keyboard was a good idea. Yeah, Dino is now discard your time clop. And time clop is discard your facades. PC does not have save state functionality. The way that I'm, you know, saving or suspending whatever, between sessions on PC is to put the laptop into sleep mode. The reason it is on a laptop is because the laptop has an internal battery, so that how to put it? If there's a power outage, the laptop will immediately go to battery, and we won't immediately lose progress that way. And also, I have the laptop connected to an uninterruptible power supply that's capable of running the laptop for well over an hour at full blast. So, we have 2 layers of battery between the computer and the wall. You have the memory address for save everywhere. I have it too, but I'm not going to cheat. There's no save point here, so I don't get to save. And I don't want to do anything that interferes with the game's RAM. I want to play the game as fairly as I possibly can. Oh yeah, those bodies are going to start rotting by the time we reach, like, level 69. Hey, weed guy. Got another run going. Today's window colors are pretty good. I especially like the corner that's 69, 69, 69. Okay, so do you want, Weed Guy, do you want to turn off the cam? Is that what the 69 was for? Let me know if you want the cam back on, but I'm going to interpret that 69 as turning off the cam. The foot cam can be toggled on and off with bits or with channel points. And 69 is the bit threshold to toggle it. Okay, well, regardless, it's going back on. Because Devious redeemed it. How long until Devious Deceiver runs out of channel points? That's a good idea, Cord. That's a really good idea. $69 to keep it on for the rest of the stream. And if nobody's done that yet, then maybe 42.0 to keep it on for 69 minutes. And then if somebody's already done the $69 and then somebody does 42.0, then they just get scammed. Within Return to Midgar. So you need to fight the Turks. You can't run past the group of 3. There's actually a skip as you're parachuting into Midgar. You can shorten the FMV where you parachute into Midgar, you can shorten that. And you know the scene where Cloud lands, and then Kate Sith hobbles up to him and says, "Here, let's go this way." You can completely skip that scene. And I believe, though that skip is allowed in No Major Skips. I'm sure other people knew about it before me, but I did find it independently myself. As with a game like this, with a game like FF7, if you find something, most likely other people knew about it before you found it. Unless it's something like Calm Skip or Guard Skip. Unless it's like one of the big ones that was discovered like in the last 5 years or whatever. So, like, several people, I'm sure, have independently found step count, and I was among those people. There's no way that anyone's gonna be able to figure out, like, who was the first person to find a step count. Because people just weren't sharing information that effectively back then. Back in the very early 2000s. But back in the day, I was formation routing, to maximize... I was formation routing, encounters in the swamps of the Northern Crater. So from power off, from Formation 0, the most efficient way to get AP is to do fights in the swamp area of the Northern Crater until you get your third movers encounter, and then save and then hard reset, and then do that again until third movers. And basically the reason is that the gap between third movers and fourth movers is huge, and the gap between the beginning and third movers is relatively short. So doing that will dramatically increase your effective fight percentage for movers and for yeah, doing that dramatically increases your experience, your rewards per encounter, your average rewards per encounter. What about the elixir pots? This setup also gives you the number of Master Tonberries that you need to be able to feed the elixirs with, or feed the magic pots with with elixirs that you've stolen from Tonberries. And you're probably wondering, why not just use W item duplication? I consider it cheating. The only context in which I will ever use, and have ever used, W item duplication is in the context of a speed run, where if I don't do that, then I'm at a massive competitive disadvantage. But in any sort of casual play, or any sort of challenge run, I refuse to use item duplication. I refuse to cheat. So part of the reason for hard resetting after third movers, part of what's worked into that is that you're able to steal the correct amount of elixirs to feed the correct amount of magic pots, so that you can keep magic pots in the loop as well, for experience and AP gains. Yeah, so there's rumors that that guy was, like, one of the developers. Like, he just seemed to know too much about the game. So you want to hear another cute thing about those cuties, KRD? In the original Japanese version, they still ask you for elixirs, but you don't need to throw an elixir at it in order to damage it. You can just attack them and kill them in the original Japanese release. And that's really useful in the in the 100% speed run of the original Japanese release. And the reason why is because there's no W item duplication. So you wouldn't be able to duplicate a stack of elixirs for your magic pots anyway. But you don't have to. You can just attack them. They say, give me elixir, and then just kill them. The 933 was having gotten all of the limits. Not just Finishing Touch, but also Klimazard and Cross Slash. And we will be learning them in reverse. The order that we're going to learn them is going to be Cross Slash, then Finishing Touch, then Klimazard. There's no risk with the pedals, because the pedals only have up and down. In order to do left or right, I'd either need to use this, or one of my keyboards. But it's just a 3-button pedal with up, down, and circle, effectively. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah. We're getting really good potion drops. 14 already, nice. It's actually, it's a USB Infinity, dictation pedal. It's meant for reading, transcripts into audio files. Like, there's a record button, a fast forward button, and a rewind button. This is one of the most common pedals that gets recommended for use with Live Split, though. I have 2 of these pedals, the one that I'm using right now for this, and a second one that I use for Live Split. And they're really expensive to buy new. If you're gonna get one of these, get them on eBay. They're way, way, way the fuck cheaper to buy on eBay, and I just bought 2 of them in the same auction, or 2 of them in the same, like, listing. I paid more than if I were to buy one, but I knew that I was probably gonna be, The brand is Infinity. Like, Google that, and that will put you on the right track. The way to buy them is going to be used on eBay. Hey, it's shipped. And since you know what it looks like, because you can see it, like, on the screen here, you'll be able to tell if it's the correct pedal or not. Back when I got mine, they went on eBay for, like... Yeah, that's why you don't buy it new. That's exactly why you don't buy it new. The eBay price at the time that I got mine was like $30 each. I got 2 of them for like $45. Together. Depending on whether or not you are lucky. So for some people, they're able to just connect the pedal and have it be recognized by LiveSplit, like without any sort of software intermediary. And then other people have and I'm one of these other people. Other people have the experience where they connect it and then they need to have a software like translation layer that turns the pedal inputs into keyboard inputs that interact with LiveSplit. The pedal has 3 buttons. So, like, this button here for down, this button here, which I'm using for up, and then this is the confirm button. Or what, I have this big thing in the middle, I have mapped to confirm. So when I have it for LiveSplit, this is my split button, this is my skip split button, and I have this one mapped to undo split. Yeah, the thing in the middle is a giant button. So I'm holding the button down. You see how, like, the whole thing depresses? You use an Ikagal USB pedal from Amazon. They have a 1, 2, and 3 button. Yeah, there are other options, but this arrangement here, way over there in the corner, is a really good option if you're able to find one, you know, cheap on eBay. And sometimes LiveSplit will recognize it natively, sometimes it won't. One of my... The streaming computer I'm using now needs to have a software layer that translates the pedal inputs into keyboard inputs that are interpreted by LiveSplit. The computer that I was using before it, LiveSplit would recognize it directly, and I have no idea what the difference is. Some people have it work for them, other people don't. I've had both situations now. If you get one of these pedals and LiveSplit is not recognizing it, then you need to look up the software Pedable. Pedable is the name of the software to use to translate inputs from this pedal to be keyboard inputs. I'm not using Joy to Key for the pedal. I'm using Pedable for the pedal. I am using Joy to Key for this, though. And I also have a wireless keyboard setup. So I have a number of different input options, all working simultaneously. Ba, 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 ba. This pedal does not have any pressure sensitive or any, like, pressure gradient kind of things. All of these are these are just on-off switches. So you could not use it as like a gas pedal in a racing game. Or if you did, it would be like holding down the button on a controller. Basically, this is like a 3-button controller. Yeah, so one of the tech issues, actually, Blue Harvey, was that this was getting disconnected when I would do cycles of putting the computer into sleep and then waking up the computer. I would need to unplug and then replug this back in, and that has been fixed now. This now stays connected to Windows. There's a lot of stuff like that that's been solved. So basically, the first 2 streams were all just learning and getting the bugs worked out of the system. As far as I'm aware, we should actually be good to go now. Oh, and another thing, Blue Harvey, I'm always serious. So how is it going, everybody? Are you enjoying the first 50 minutes of a grind? We're still level 10. Yeah, we're about to be level 11. Once we get Blade Beam, once we start to be able to grind for Blade Beam, then I'm gonna go get my Highland Cow Slippers while farming a little bit of Blade Beam damage. Oh, we can turn off the music. I'm never gonna have the sound effects for FF7 off, but when playing other video games, for the most part, I'm gonna have the FF7 music be off. In FF7 PC, you can there are volume sliders for the background music and for the sound effects that are independent from each other. Okay, any fight now will be level 11. Oh, Otaku reached a 3-stream watch streak. Nice. All 3 of the grind streams. Okay, now we're level 11. Eventually, I won't have to update the level thing nearly as often. The very beginning is just level after level after level. Oh, also, once we're farming damage, I've got this thing that I got from, like, Etsy or something. And we'll open this later on in the stream. Once I'm just letting enemies attack me to fill my limit bar. And so I don't have to do inputs. Anyone want to guess what it is? A hint is that it's something that I didn't already have before. So no, it's not another PlayStation 2. Crack rocks? No, I've been watching Breaking Bad. You've got the wrong drug, sir. Amazon gift card I bought off Etsy with eBay tape on it? Absolutely it is. That was some good damage. Yeah. Actually, I'm just gonna frame this. It's abstract art. It just needs a frame. I would ruin it if I unpackaged it. Because the package is the artwork. It would be a relatively thin Sega Genesis game, if so. Exclusive limited edition good version of FF8? Yeah. It's an ISO hack of FF8 that doesn't have level scaling. Actually, I wonder how hard it would be to make an ISO hack of FF8. Okay, we got Blade Beam, but we're gonna keep farming Bravers for now, until we have Cross Slash. I wonder how hard it would be to make an ISO hack of FF8, where instead of starting at, like, level 6 or whatever, you started at level 99, and every time that you leveled up, your level actually went down. And by that, so, like, the game mechanics would be identical, but, like, visually, instead of the game visually suggesting that you got stronger, the feedback that you would get, the visual feedback that you would get from, winning battles would be that your level goes down, because, and that way the fact that you are becoming weaker would make sense. Like, effectively in FF8, you start out at max level, and as you level up, you know, your level goes down. No, mechanically, the game would be exactly identical. The only thing that would be different would be the way that your level is presented. So instead of your level being presented as level 6 at the beginning of the game, it would be presented as level 99. And we go from level 6 to level 7. Instead of it being presented as level 7, it would now be presented as level 98. That way you would see that you were getting weaker as you were getting weaker because you gained experience points. And it would be clear that gaining experience points was harming you. It would be more clear to a first-time player that experience points are poison. Boy, ti amo. I hope you're enjoying the foot cam, Drika. Yeah, the Highland... I'm gonna put on the Highland Cow slippers later, once I'm able to get away from the game for a little bit. But yes, those are gonna go on later this stream. And yes, we need... Oh my god, Drika! Do you know... We have Catatonia socks, don't we? Didn't you buy Catatonia socks? If we didn't, then we almost did. We either have, or we almost have Catatonia socks. I also need Bulba socks. It's in your pile of clean laundry. Yeah, you gotta find our Catatonia socks. In your pile of clean laundry somewhere. I also need, like, Bulbasaur slippers. Yeah, it would probably be possible... Yeah, it shouldn't be hard to program that. If you knew what you were doing, all you would do was change what got displayed. So instead of like displaying level 7, you would display level 98. For Squall, for example. Yamo, are you still at work? I plan to stream to somewhere between 10 p.m. and midnight. Somewhere in that range today. And then I'm not streaming tomorrow. Okay. Makes sense they get weaker because of the use of GFs. They still get weaker even if you level... So, gaining experience in FF8 is not related to GF equipment, GF use. You can take an unjunctioned Squall to level 99. So, like, there is... Like, those are not a connected, you know, related whatever thing. Now, if the only way that you could gain experience was through the use of GFs, then there would be an argument there. Then there would be some sort of, like, storyline consistency. But the way the game mechanics actually are, there isn't. And they don't actually get weaker when they level up. Technically speaking, they're getting stronger when they level up. The problem is not the process of them leveling up. The problem is that the enemies level up at the same time as them, and the enemies gain stats and abilities and everything way faster on a per-level basis than the characters do. So, the GFs should have absolutely nothing to do with what level and how strong enemies are. So, it sounds like lore-wise, what you need to do is equip all of the enemies with GFs. Yeah, so Otaku, if you want to do a no-junction fight against Omega Weapon, you need to not... So, I've done no-junction Omega. I'm reasonably certain that I was the first in the world to play, to kill Omega Weapon without junctions. And that was done with a party that was at level 99. I was planning to do the fight at minimum level, but it turns out that Omega Weapon is always level 100. Thank God Omega Weapon's always level 100, so you can't just cheese him by being min-level. But, you know, if you're level 99, then L5 Death misses. How much gil? Hopefully enough for the rest of the game. Let's see. 32 experience. 20 gil. Let's do some math. Okay, it's 0.62. I'm gonna get a quick ballpark estimate, whatever. About 1.5 million. A little bit more than 1.5 million. Like, 1,532,000. Also, hey, Replicant and Handsome Strife. I know why we have more viewers today than yesterday. The window color is better. Dude, I need to always have a good window color. Yeah, that's... So the reason I thought of that, Scrabs, is because I was thinking the same thing myself. So you guys are lucky that the window color is pretty good, otherwise I would have to end the stream. Yeah, totally snazzy. Like, Chrome Skull accessory level of snazzy. So, do you have any Chrome Skull accessories?
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Thanks to the spin replicant. I'll get you a spin in the next fight. And then I'll tell a story about Chrome Skull accessories. There was your spin. This is the first time that anybody will... So once this is completed, it will be the first time that anybody has gotten to level 99 grinding before entering the reactor. Or grinding, you know, as Ex-Soldier on the first screen of the game. It's relatively common. It's a relatively normal thing. At least it used to be. To go into the reactor to get to the first save point, and then have Cloud and Barret together grind to level 99, you know, before fighting Guard Scorpion. Several people have done that. Probably at least a dozen people have done that. But nobody has done this before. And this takes about 3 times as long as the standard inside the reactor grind. The most recent... So everybody's like, oh yeah, the Dick Tree video. Oh, what Circle Master, blah, blah, blah. There happens to be a well-publicized case that has a popular YouTube video on it, about, like, the Circle Master and a Dick Tree saga. But the process of doing that grind is relatively normal, and before speedrunning really picked up as a thing, it was just, like, what you would do once you ran out of other stuff to do in Final Fantasy VII. I never actually did it. I was one of the weird ones who never did the level 99 grind, back in the early 2000s. Level 99 inside the reactor grind. And so if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the right way and actually have it be something that hasn't been done before. Okay, so what I was saying about Chrome Skull accessories. So I saw, some like, article once. Yeah, for the most part, we're playing with a foot pedal. The reason why... Here, I'll help you out a little. Since you are just brand new. So click on that. The grind document. And you'll see the first page of it is a list of video games. Those are video games that I plan to play during the grind. And you see how my hands are free? And I can do have Cloud... I can do almost everything that's required for the grind. Effectively automated with my feet. So my hands being free means I can play video games like Dragon Warrior and stuff. You know, with my hands. And that's going to kill a lot of time. And that's going to make it so that the grind is not nearly as mind-numbing as it would otherwise be. If it, like... So probably this first stream is going to be predominantly FF7 or maybe entirely FF7, because I'm really low level right now, and I want Cloud to get to where he's not squishy. And I want to grind his limits early, because if you don't specifically grind them early, then your max HP becomes too high to be able to grind them at all. So there's some early game stuff that I want to take care of. And then if you look at my splits here, you'll see what some of the earlier in the process other video games at the same time that I have planned, you know, to do. And there's other stuff I can do at the same time, you know. I'm thinking maybe once a week to take a look at the subreddit, r/amItheasshole, and, like, read through that and, like, discuss whether or not the original poster is an asshole. I want to learn how the FF9 speedrun works. You know, read a guide on how to do, like, a beginner's guide on FF9, any percent, while watching some any percent runs, etc. for that. You know, there's no way that I'm gonna run out of stuff to do during the grind. Basically, the only way that this fails is if the computer crashes, which has happened, but hopefully it won't happen in the future. You see how I can change the size of, like, you know, this, and you see that thing that says no signal? Can I do a hundo while grinding to level 99? I probably will at some point. Once I'm comfortable with playing video games with my hands, then probably I'll try to do a hundo. It's not going to be very fast. It's not going to be my best hundo. But why not, you know? But, as you'll be able to see shortly... Oh, I've got the wrong thing connected. Hold on. You can hear it. Okay, hold on. Something's wrong with my... I just turned on Dragon Warrior. Okay, so I've got a little bit of tech to solve before Dragon Warrior is going to be playable. Yeah, we're losing time. Fuck. Hold on. I just want to try one thing quick. There we go. There's Dragon Warrior. Okay. Problem solved. So, later, FF7 will be down over on the side here. And we'll be able to play other video games. And I currently have Dragon Warrior set up as the first game. So for this, to be able to do this, I had to buy a third capture card. I now have 3 capture cards. And all of them have specific usages. Basically, I have a capture card for 4:3 aspect ratio stuff, a capture card for 16:9 aspect ratio stuff, and a capture card specifically for the FF7 laptop. The 16 by 9 capture card is for, like, PS4, basically. Or if I need to do a 16.9 game from a PC, from an external PC. From a secondary PC. $21 pots, that's pretty good. So, Scrabs, I was actually thinking also, see how we've got, like, empty space right here? Where we've got, like, the Highland cow that's taking notes? I've considered also starting some idle games. Like, they're games that you can, like, let do auto battles and stuff. And I could, like, have those also be running at the same time. Like, I think in Raid Shadow Legends, you can set that to be... You can set Raid Shadow Legends to auto-grind, you know? And so I could also become a Raid Shadow Legends streamer at the same time as Dragon Warrior, and at the same time as Final Fantasy VII, and at the same time as several other idle games. I should probably have 6.9 games running at any given point. Yeah, in a year or two, I need to get a better time. I've been busy working on getting sub 15 on PC lately, KRD. And now I'm busy on the level 99 grind. Hey, Rendell. Yeah, have you heard me mention that I planned to do the level 99 first screen of the game thing? It's now going. Hey, Celery Man. Oh, wait, Lettuce Link. Yeah, hey, Lettuce Link. Yeah, this is a transcription foot pedal, or like a dictation foot pedal. I hope you've got a lot of email addresses to make all the alt accounts that you require. Dave Stereo did not do this. Nobody has done this. What Dave Stereo and the others have done is get to the first save point and then grind there. Doing that is about 3 times faster than what I'm doing. So, like, the grind that Dave did takes about 400 hours. This one takes about 1.2 thousand. So here we just leveled up. We are level 12. So we can... Boom. Level 12. It needs more than that. You know, I do actually need a controller to do actual menuing and stuff. But most things are down to just those buttons. Yeah, the menuing's really hard. Most people don't even know how to get into the materia menu this early in the game. They think that you need to, like, complete the 7th Heaven cutscene first. So at some point, after probably the next 1 or 2 levels, Cloud is going to get a very significant damage boost, and then we can start thinking about putting him into the back row. Once Cloud is in the back row, then my potion usage will plummet. The rate at which I need to use potions to keep Cloud alive is gonna go way down, and that will allow me to begin stockpiling potions significantly. And then once I have a Meteor Rain, then we deplete those potions to farm damage, to farm Meteor Rain usages. So, that's a common misconception that I've been saying over and over and over, Wizzy. Victory was very far from the, or technically Circle Master, was very far from the first person to grind to level 99 in the reactor. Probably well over a dozen, or even dozens, of people have done it. It used to be just a normal thing that people would do. Oh, and actually, when it was more common for people to do it, that was before the PS2 was released, so the battles were way slower, too. Like, the loading of battles was a lot slower. Yeah, so kids these days don't really remember, you know, the late 90s, because they probably weren't even alive. Oh, yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be really embarrassing if Tifa put in a good word for you and said, hey, this Cloud guy, this childhood friend of mine, you can rely on him. You know, he's strong, he's ex-soldier. And then Guard Scorpion killed you? We need to make sure that there's no chance of that happening. And the only way that we can be sure to beat Guard Scorpion with 100% reliability is to get to level 99. Preferably before Barrett meets us. Yeah, Barrett should join at level 98. The other characters should join in the high 90s or at level 99, with the exception of Yuffie, who will join somewhere in the 40s. I kind of have no idea, Funk. Damage done, so your magic stat is very largely influenced by the weapon that you have equipped, and the Buster Sword is really, really garbage. I would not be at all surprised if we do not quad 9 with Bolt 3. Basically just because the Buster Sword is really weak. We will not be quad 9ing with our ordinary damage, with our ordinary physical attacks, with the Buster Sword. So we will not be able to save a finishing touch for Guard Scorpion. And after a certain point, it's going to be impossible to gain any limit. It'll be impossible for us to fill our limit bar. So by the time we make it to Guard Scorpion, by the time we actually, like, get to level 99, it will be impossible to even farm a Braver. The most damage that we can take on the first screen from a normal attack is 10. And once your max HP is high enough, because of the way the game does rounding, rounds all the, you know, partial values down, eventually Cloud's limit bar will increase by 0, even when he takes the most damage that even if he gets crit by these enemies. Yeah, we could go to the second screen, but As soon as we activate that cutscene, then the run would be dead. It's required to go to the second screen at least once in order to turn the encounters on the first screen. The first screen starts out not hostile, and it becomes hostile when you return to it. There is no advantage to grinding on the second screen compared to the first, though. It's the same encounter table and the same encounter rate. So if you did that, then you would just, very quickly, you would accidentally activate the cutscene, and that would kill your run. So I'm interested in playing. So technically that's true, and also if you did that, then Barrett would later join at level 1 instead of level 98, because you would bypass the check that sets his level. But I don't want to cheat. I don't want to do anything that could be considered cheating. What's my strat to beat the game after this? Most of the fights I'm going to be able to win by holding down circle. That's basically going to be the strat. That's going to be the go-to strat, is to kill everything with damage. Damage is really effective. Damage is a really good way to kill things. Any unique challenging fights that level 99 won't help with? The main concern that we've had, actually, well, like, theory crafting the a hundo after already getting to level 99 on the first screen, is going to be getting the Vajarisk Claw. So, if your level is high enough, it becomes impossible to get Vajarisk Claw as a drop from the Bagrisk enemies. So the only way that we're going to be able to get it is going to be from Commander Grandhorn, as like the boss if you fail the Fort Condor minigame. And the mechanics of the Fort Condor minigame, and like which level of Commander Grandhorn you fight, is a bit complicated. The only Commander Grandhorn that drops the Vajarisk Claw is the lowest level one, the level 19 one, which we think should be the one you always encounter after the first 3 possible Fort Condor fights. If that's true, then we're good. If that's not true, and if the fact that we're really high level becomes a problem for us, then we will, and then we can't get the Vajarisk Claw. Another backup, potentially, is allegedly, theoretically, if it doesn't crash the game, is to show up with not a party of 3, to show up with Solo Cloud, which is going to be an option available to us anyway because we are doing Calm Skip. We are going to do Calm Skip. That might get us the level 19 Commander Grandhorn fight as well. Basically, we need to fight the level 19 Commander Grandhorn. That's one issue. And then another potential issue, is it might be tricky to get the Mithril. I believe... So there's a counter. There's an in-game counter of number of battles that you've had. And when you talk to the sleeping guy in the cave,
You're following me.
Whether or not he gives you the mithril depends
Just a little
on
bit.
how many fights you've had, and probably we're going to end up overflowing that counter. And I think it resets. If that counter resets, which I believe it does, then we're fine. If it gets to a certain number and then stops, then we will not be able to get the mithril. And we will probably not be able to get the mithril. Yeah, we're gonna hundo after this. If you've seen the stream plans thing... and then not just see it, but read it, then you'll know what the stream plans are. So, it's only going to be like another 15 hours, or maybe even faster, because we'll be high level, to finish this as a hundo once Cloud reaches level 99. So I'll do that all in one stream. Okay. Yeah. This will become a 100% speedrun, or as close to a 100% speedrun as is mathematically possible. At some point, I think, I will edit the grind document to include, like, a paragraph. Like, right at the beginning, as soon as you click on the grind document, a paragraph about what's happening with the setup. And that it's going to become a 100% speed run and stuff. That way, there wouldn't be two different links that you would have to click on to know everything. But we're still, like, this is the first week. This is only the third day. We're still working out, the bugs. Hey, Codeman. Yeah, the problem... The very, very minor issue is that we can't reset. So we just need to get perfect HP and MP rolls the entire way first try. And if we get to, like, level 97, and from the jump from level 97 to 98, don't get our HP to increase the correct amount, yeah, and we just reset. Yeah, and when party members join... Yeah, for Barrett, too. Barrett also has to just miraculously... have his rolls get him to the max. When we name him on the second screen, before we can save. And if anything goes wrong with that, then we just reset and do the grind again. Slowest 100% speedrun in history, while also being WR, probably. Oh, this is probably... Is this going to be slower than the game that people keep saying, hey, I know about this one game that takes a long time to speedrun? Like the one that... You guys know... I don't remember its name. It's got some weird name. But, like, the speedruns for it are in actual days. Not Xenogears. I mean, like, it takes weeks to speedrun. It is famous for how long it takes. Xenogears is only, like, 30 hours or whatever. Yeah, Batten Kaitos. Yeah. Is this going to be longer than a Batten Kaitos speedrun? Yeah, you probably misspelled it, but I would misspell it, too. I wonder how this compares to, like, ordinary grinding in old-school RuneScape. Okay, Batten Kaitos is only several hundred hours. Yeah. Less than 1,000 hours, that's nothing. What I'm most curious about in terms of comparing this with other grinds is comparing this to the various different things that you could theoretically grind in old-school RuneScape. Or, like, grinding every mount in World of Warcraft. Things like that. Oh yeah, I would definitely rather do this than those things either. Or also. Dude, the graphics and the sounds, but mostly the graphics, are way better here than in old school RuneScape. Cotton Kaitos is only 14 days. Just slightly over 14 days, that's nothing. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Is that SS? Oh, fuck. Yeah. We're probably gonna have to ban somebody. Who are we gonna get rid of? Probably we should get rid of somebody who has a do not disturb indicator on right now. Why is LOD 99%? 99% is the name that the community has given to the completionist category. The main reason why it's described, to my understanding, the main reason why it's described as 99% and not 100% is that in that game, items and spells are kind of the same thing, and you have a very limited item inventory, and so it is not possible for you to have every item, it's not possible for you to simultaneously hold every item in the game. So instead, what you get in the 99% run for items, for ordinary items, is a list of certain specific items that are like that have a special property that isn't important right now, and then the other consumable items are not tracked. But the fact that those are items that you can't have, that you won't have when you finish the game, makes it so that it's not formally a 100% category. But it does it's just as completionist for that game as a 100% run is for like FF7 or FF8. Hey Ninja Fox. Foot pedals, not paddles. But you're on the right track. Hey Jose, hey Tristic. But yeah, basically, with the reason it's 99 instead of 100 for Legend of Dragoon is because your item list is not long enough. Your item capacity is not large enough to hold all the items. You can get all of the equipment. So you get all of the equipment. But ordinary items are for the most part, consumable items are spells, and the way the game restricts you from having too many spells is by restricting your item list. Well, I would understand the typing error, Ninja Fox, if you were typing with foot paddles. Ba, 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 ba. So, relatively soon, I'm gonna follow this up with getting Barrett's L4 limit break in the next room. Well, first of all, we need the manual for that. Second of all, we're gonna need something that can do gravity damage. Because Barrett is gonna start at level 98. So his max HP is going to be so high that it's not going to be possible for him to even fill his limit to get a big shot. Until we find something that can do, like, a lot more damage. Oh, so Radmiral, downstairs I have some Highland Cow slippers that I'm gonna slip into later on in this stream. Also, my wife happens to own Catatonia socks. So, once we find the Catatonia socks, then I can wear the Catatonia socks. I probably should get some Paradise Lost socks too, and Bulba socks, and Bulba slippers, and Catatonia slippers. So it actually wouldn't take... So as soon as we get Barrett, he'll be at level 98 already. So it'll be... If we wanted to, getting him to level 99 really wouldn't be that bad. Okay, so that's Catatonia with the C. What's Catatonia with a K? How is that related to socks? So do you see that? Right there above my head? The poster that says Catatonia, and it's spelled with a K? You could look into that. Yeah, there are two bands. There's a Catatonia song that... Catatonia with a C. Called Dead from the Waist Down, that Catatonia with a K at one point, like, pretended that was their song. You know, as, like, their equivalent of rickrolling people. Only it was more of a cata-roll. Yeah, double lapis, and I won't even... Okay, okay. So it looks like somebody has consulted the AI chatbot. Catatonia is a Swedish heavy metal band formed in Stockholm in 1991 by Jonas Renski and Anders Nystrom. The band started as a studio-only project for the duo, an outlet for the band's love of death metal. They started out playing, like, depressive black metal, and then the second album was... Or, like, they started out like Black Doom, basically. Then their second album was Drone Doom, and then since then it's just been relatively ordinary doom metal, with increasingly progressive influences as of late. Yeah, they have a Drone Doom album. It's called Brave Murder Day. Yeah, everyone's heard of Sunno. One of my friends saw them live and then left early because he was bored, and he's a really big fan of Doom. Or not, both Doom and Drone. From what I've heard, from what I can gather, Sunno is like the popular Drone artist that everybody's heard of. And they, you know how like everybody has heard of, within death metal, okay, everybody's heard of Cannibal Corpse, and you know that Cannibal Corpse is just garbage. I think I need to increase my level. Same thing with like Cradle of Filth. Everybody's heard of Cradle of Filth, but Cradle of Filth is like the worst band ever. Yeah, it's just like Fortnite. My understanding is that Sunno is the Drone equivalent of, like, Cradle of Filth, or um, Cannibal Corpse, or whatever else is, like, super ultra ridiculously popular among people who do not listen to the genre. Oh, okay. There's a difference in perspective here. You're saying I've never met somebody who has heard of Sun-O, and I'm saying I've never met somebody who hasn't heard of Sun-O. So there's... I'm substantially more true. No, Code Man, you've heard of Sun-O. There's no way you haven't. Well, you've heard of Cannibal Corpse, right? Okay, so you're not even a person. What about Cradle of Filth? What about Alcest? Alcest became popular for a little bit. Okay, I have not heard of Cradle of Life. So, Cradle of Life does not sound like a horror movie, and I mostly just watch horror movies and Vanilla Sky. Arguably, Vanilla Sky is a horror movie. Oh, and Death to Smoochie. It's worth watching Death to Smoochie repeatedly. Only movie you've watched this year was Furiosa. It was pretty good. So Drika and I just saw Maxine. So there's a trilogy of horror movies that all involve like the same like set of characters. The first is X. X has the characters Pearl and Maxine in it, and then Pearl got her own movie, and then Maxine got her own movie. Pearl is a prequel. X is what happens in the middle, and Maxine happens at the end. We just saw that we just saw Maxine in theaters, and it was relatively good. You saw Maxine in the news? Yeah, there are two movies. If you're going to see Maxine, then before you do so, you should first watch X, and then watch Pearl. But that trilogy, if you like horror, then you should watch that trilogy. And also, the movie X, the first in the series, the soundtrack for that and like all of the audio direction was done by Chelsea Wolfe. So the music for the first movie is really good. And everybody's heard of Chelsea Wolfe, right? So it might be worth watching the first movie just for the soundtrack. Hey, T-Bone. Okay. If my poker chips are accurate, we need to do 2 more Bravers. Before we have Cross Slash, and then I'm gonna temporarily switch to Blade Beam, but I'm not gonna manually grind Blade Beams until we at least learn, Then I'm gonna start accumulating damage towards the first, natural usage of Blade Beam. But not manually grind anything until we have learned Media Rain. I want to get as much Media Rain grinding in at at effectively minimum level. $23 pots is pretty good, I think. But once we go to Blade Beam, then I have an excuse to be able to go downstairs to get my Island Cow slippers while I'm taking some damage from a dog. Oh, KRD, were you the most recent person to join the Discord? If you, I have a music channel that you might find interesting. Yeah, does your Discord name have something to do with ducks? Okay, I thought you were going to duck that question. Pa 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 pa. Okay, so we need to gain at least one more level before we can back row. Probably 2 levels. Once we can one-shot everything from the back row, then our potion usage is going to fall significantly. The rate at which we burn potions just to stay alive is going to go way down. Because then we'll start taking like 1 to 3 damage per hit. Instead of like 4 to 10. So yesterday had the crash at the beginning, and then basically the rest of the stream was working on tech issues. We didn't really start a second attempt yesterday, Kevin. The beginning of this stream is the beginning of the second actual attempt. Also, since the end of yesterday's stream and the beginning of this one, I worked out a number of other tech things. We should be totally good to go now. You know how this was getting disconnected when I would do a sleep cycle? I have this so this stays connected now. And a few other things are made to be significantly more stable now than they were before. We do, Dimensive. We do. It's the second tab of the grind document. Yeah, we have an actually proper foot pedal arrangement now, whereas before I was using a keyboard on the floor. This is way better. Yeah, so if you're looking at the grind doc there, Dimensive, under the progress tab, each stream I will update that. And if I do multiple streams in the same day, there's still going to be, like, each individual stream is going to have its own line on that, even if I do multiple streams. So the date and the stream number will get disconnected from each other. And then over in notes, you'll see, like, a sentence as for what happened. The completion percentage and the experience and level and stuff like that will get updated on a per-stream basis. The time is going to be cumulative since the beginning of the grind. Have I tried No Man's Sky since it actually became good? I have not heard of it becoming good. And in general, I'm just not into the space sim kind of thing. Yeah, so Chelsea Wolfe was like the sound director person for X, for the movie X. And a lot of the music in the movie is original Chelsea Wolfe music. So that might be a good reason, if you like music that's good, that might be a good reason to watch X. And then from there, you may as well watch both Pearl and then Maxine. No major skips. Got really turned around. What, did Zeal start running it? So the genre of, like, space simulation, exploration kind of stuff, games, is just not something that I've ever been interested in. So, like, I've had no interest at all in No Man's Sky, or in Stellaris, or in, what others are there? EVE Online, or even Star Trek Online, Starfield. Yeah, Starfield is the most recent one. And, like, isn't there one that, like, is, like, perpetually in early access? There's one that's just never going to be released, and they keep releasing, like, ships that people buy for, like, hundreds of thousands. Star Citizen, yeah. Yeah, so, like that whole genre, or, like, genre-esque collection of games, I've never had any interest in. You actually own Star Citizen from, like, 19... or... Maybe you own it from 1918, and it's just taken them an extra 100 years longer than we thought to not release it. Also, hey Leggett and Failsys. Enjoy your first time chat. I'm sorry your first time chat had to get wasted on saying Star Citizen. So the good thing about Star Citizen is that it gives video game news YouTubers something to talk about whenever Star Citizen does something that scans their player base. I think Star Fox is a totally different genre. It's got Star in the name, though. Oh, so one Star game that I actually got kind of good at. So you know how I used to work at, Chuck E. Cheese's. And so, I was like a game room attendant, so I had unlimited tokens, so I could get really good at all of the games. And the best game that was available at the time at my location for Chuck E. Cheese's was Star Wars Arcade. And so, one of my friends and I, together, collectively, we got really good at that game, to where we could beat it on, like, a single token. My friend specialized in the lightsaber battles, the lightsaber duels, and I think the first-person gun shooting stuff. Oh wait, no. I don't remember which levels. So I remember for sure he did the lightsaber battles. I think he did the lightsaber battles and the out in space battles. And then I think I did the on the surface of a planet battles. And the first person shooter, like, gun shooting stuff. But yeah, each of us, like, picked our levels to specialize in, and then we would trade off and eventually got to where we could beat the game off of a single token. This is what happens in an arcade when you can play for free. You eventually get really good at the games. Also, thank you for the follow, Loveless. And I speed run the games. So one of the things that we used to do was speed run getting rid of tokens. So we would start with the same number of tokens, and then whoever could spend through just by like dumping them into machines as you ran through the arcade, whoever could get rid of all of their tokens first would be the winner. This is the sort of thing you do when you have unlimited tokens. I mean, what else are you gonna do? No, we weren't playing the games. We were just putting in tokens, then moving on to the next place, the next slot that you could put a token into. So if anybody was following us, they got free games. So usually, so another thing you can do is social experiments, where you put a token in a game, and you play it, and then, like, tickets come out. You remember tickets? This is back when, like, tickets were a thing. I think people have, I think they're, like RFID cards now that get loaded with tickets. And, like, the tokens and tickets are I think are not a thing anymore. It's all, like, electronic now. But back when it was physical tokens and physical tickets, one of the things that we would do would be to play a game that generates tickets, let the tickets come out, and then just walk away, and then watch and see what happens, see what people do. And usually when a little kid would see that, that we walked away, that be like, oh, hey, look, and, like, let us know to get our tickets. Or sometimes they take the tickets and bring them to us, be like, here are your tickets. And then when an adult would see that, they would run and grab them and like, hide them with their stash. That's usually how it would go. So I've got a plastic box somewhere that has, like, 4,000 tickets. I think I was saving for, like, a Game Gear, or, like, some sort of, like, handheld video game device thing, and never quite made it. That was before I worked there. Once I started working there, and and became familiar with the mechanics of, like, buying things with tickets, it quickly became obvious that tickets are effectively worthless. And if you want, you can just buy stuff directly. So 1 ticket is 1 penny. If you want to just purchase, like, if something is 100 tickets, like, to redeem for, you can just buy it for $1. Just say that you'll pay $1 for it, and that's the price. Or if you're, like, you know, 100 tickets short, then it would be your tickets plus $1. Well, that's what I'm describing is the policy for Chuck E. Cheese's. I don't know what your policy was like for Haunted Trails, but the official policy is 1 penny per ticket. If somebody wants something, they don't have the tickets for it. Although we would try to make sure that people didn't know that. Because if they did know that, then they would take way more time they would spend way more time at the prize counter. And the main goal when you're working the prize counter is to just churn through people as quickly as possible. Because it gets really backed up, and it's a nightmare. And people, like, little kids will drool all over, and they have no idea what they even want, and they haven't put any thought into what they want until it's their turn. They're like, ah. You know, they're just like adults, but they're younger. It's horrible. And if their parents know, yeah, pretty much every merch table is like that. Only at Chuck E. Cheese's, there was an above-average amount of actual literal drool. Hey, Colding. First priority is to get people away from the counter. Second is to clean the counter. Yeah, because we would also get yelled at if the counter had too much drool on it. Yeah, you can eat candy in the back, but whatever you do, don't eat from the salad bar. If you want, so, ARD, are you the person who said, like, I could probably learn a lot from you? If you want to learn one thing from me, do not eat from the salad bar at Chuck E. Cheese's. The pizza's fine. The pizza is actually surprisingly good. The salad bar is extremely disgusting. Once I get to where I'm damage farming, I'll find my Chuck E. Cheese's hat. Because there might be people who don't believe me when I say that I'm a former Chuck E. Cheese's employee. I have my game ref hat. That you can only get by being an employee. They're not for sale. Not at my location. Did I only do it for the hat? No, I did it for the free tokens. And the pizza was, I think the discount was 50%. So, oh, and actually you don't buy pizza. If you actually know what you're doing at Chuck E. Cheese's, instead of buying pizza, what you should do is buy breadsticks and order toppings on the breadsticks. On a per cost basis, it's way more effective than buying a pizza. It's like half the price for like the same amount of food. And the breadsticks are actually really good. And when you put toppings on, like breadsticks with green peppers, cheese, and onion, is probably better than a pizza, and it's like half the price. I've not played Five Nights at Freddy's, and I don't have any interest in doing so. None of the imagery for it, seems like, I think, oh, I understand now. You're asking because of my background at Chuck E. Cheese's, right? Because of, I have a background of seeing, like, animatronic shit. Yeah, so that doesn't have any sort of special... Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't seem to have any sort of special effect on me. Because of that. If anything, I would guess that it would be less scary if I were to play it. Because I'm so used to that stuff. Like, it's just, like, animatronic, you know, doll things are just, like, normal things. As opposed to being scary things. For me. So I think we're 2 Bravers away from Cross Slash. We have Blade Beam learned. We have not switched to limit level 2 yet, though. Once we have cross slash, then we'll go to limit level 2, and then I'll go downstairs while taking damage from a dog, and get my Highland Cow slippers and my game ref hat. That's level 13. Oh, level 14, probably. Yeah, 14. At level 15, I'll start to update. I'll have a % completion display on screen. Once we reach level 15, then I'll start putting up the percentage completion thing. I didn't think it made sense to keep updating at the really, really low levels. But once we reach level 15, which is, like, next level, level 15 is 0.29%. And this is 15 through 20 with the percentages. Like, I did the math already for it. And eventually, so I'll be updating the percentage, at the beginning of every stream and every time that I level up. Have you said this is awesome yet? I think so, but you can never say it too many times. Well, actually, you can. If you say it too many times, then, you'll get flagged for, like, spam or something. And the reason that's bad is because it slows you down from being able to say it again, you know, in the near future. Yeah, so you can say it 420 times, but you need to spread that across, like, 69 minutes. You do it 420 times in 1 minute, Twitch is probably not going to like that. Well, if you get to 421, then you just need to keep going until at least 690. There's cross slash. Nice. Okay. So here, we're going to be able to go downstairs soon. Now I can take damage. Okay, so I'm going to get the slippers. We need to get a fight that has a dog in it. So, Peanut, you know Peanut 55555, right? Right, Suplordo? Peanut was not just shadow banned, but actually completely fully banned. Like, with no appeal setup available. Because he repeated what some bots were doing. He, like, copy-pasted messages that bots were doing, like as a joke, which is like the stupidest joke you could possibly do because it puts your account at risk of being actually banned. And then eventually, like someone who had like, well, if Peanut's here, which Peanut is apparently always here, he's got like a 1,000 stream watch streak, he can finish the story, but, he was using an alt account later and explained the situation, and somebody in chat who apparently works at Twitch got him unbanned. But apparently they take that serious. Okay, so I gotta get my, my slippers. LFG. We have located the world's cutest slippers. And this is the, Chuck E. Cheese's hat. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. But it should work. Oh, what I need, actually, for a speed boost are the sprint shoes. So that reminds me of, a little blurb from The Onion. You guys know about The Onion, right? It's a satirical newspaper that tells stories that become true, like, 10 years later, or 5 years later. One, like, little blurb thing from The Onion. Man who likes to move it, finds perfect song. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna message my wife to make sure that she can see the Highland cows. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. This is the best idea I've ever had. The Highland cow slippers. Yeah, I need to be careful so that when doing center button, that it's only center button. And not also down or up. But it's worth the risk, given how cute the cows are. Right, now it's time to go to Amazon. It's still Prime Day, right? Is it Prime Day? Still time to Prime Day. That's what it says when you go to Amazon. I need Bulbasaur slippers. Okay, so there's Pikachu booties. There's Piranha Plant slippers from Mario. There's Eevee exclusive adult slippers, 18 plus. There's Crocs that have a bunch of different Pokemon on them, including Bulbasaur. I want just giant Bulbasaurs on my feet. Did I see what happened with Assassin's Creed Shadows? No. I've not played any of the Assassin's Creed games. And I know very little about them. I know that eventually they just became generic RPGs. Like, I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla eventually just became a completely generic RPG. Hey, Raijin. We got the Highland Cow slippers. Okay, I just found Bulba socks. There are Bulba socks on Amazon. It's a 5-pack of women's socks. That have four of them are Pokemon. One of them just says gotta catch 'em all. And then one of them is Bulbasaur. So, like, most of these are useless. Yeah, I've got the pedals working perfectly. Also... Oh shit, I can't... hold on. I'm trying to put the... Okay, hold on. I'm trying to put a link to an Amazon thing in chat without going over the character limit. Okay, here we go. Okay, check this out. Okay, so you see this? $9.13. 5 pairs of socks. 4 of them are useless, but one of those pairs of socks is Bulbasaur. What do you mean by diet? The diet is their government. The diet is like their Congress in Japan. Okay, somebody wants to get rid of the foot cam. I don't know why. Okay, somebody... in 2 minutes, you can turn the foot cam back on with channel points, or you can spend 69 or more bits. Yeah, there's a 2... Okay, it's back. Thanks, Ifrit. Yeah, we're starting low, and then I'm gonna increase the price once I have an idea what the demand is like. That's unlikely to happen, Funk. Given the way that I would need to reprogram the pedals, or I would need to use my hands or something, and I don't think that makes sense to do. Boy, yeah, we have Highland cows. So, the purchase of these slippers has now been completely justified. Yeah, if I did that, it would have to be, like, seriously expensive. Because it would make it so that I wouldn't be able to play, like, Dragon Warrior or other games. I would need to put my attention entirely on FF7. Okay, that just got us Media Rain. I am gonna grind... I'm gonna do a single Blade Beam. I'm gonna do a single Blade Beam, and then we're starting to grind a Meteor Rains. We have 31 potions, and we have not picked up the Quantum Potions yet. Okay, so now we do fights and... Okay, we got a dog. We're gonna farm a Blade Beam off of this dog, and then we switch to Meteor Rain, and then we farm a Meteor Rains until we run out of potions. Bada, 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 bada. This is a good time to refill. Actually, once I use another pot. You need to make a video compilation of Gordon Ramsay saying, "Really?" I agree. Does the Assassin's Creed game claim to be historically accurate? No, but sadly many of them, yeah. There are a lot of people who think they know about historical events because they played Assassin's Creed. Fun fact, though, the guy who made Oregon Trail actually, like, was a historian. Oregon Trail was intended to be as historically accurate as possible. So you did learn about American history when you played Oregon Trail. You guys all played Oregon Trail, right? Playing it off of a 5.5-inch floppy disk. Back when you guys remember when floppy disks were actually floppy? Not the 3 1/4, whatever. Ones that are hard shell. Yeah, the big ones. Yeah, and an Apple II, yeah. Fourth grade sounds about right. That's when they would give you access to the computer lab. So, like, the other games that I remember from that time were, like, Number Munchers. There was, like, a spelling game. Yeah, those of us who played it all died of dysentery. That's right. Some of us would die of cholera. The only people who didn't die of dysentery are the people who just got to the first place where the game would allow you to hunt, and then just, like, hunted until computer lab session was over. So one thing that's missing there, Codeman, is attempt to. Because you know you're not fording the river. You're only attempting to ford the river. Oh yeah, you can only carry back, like, 99 pounds of food or something, but you're able to get, like, 2,000. If you killed, like, a single buffalo is, like, 7 times the amount that you're able to carry back to your wagon. Okay, so that's Blade Beam number 1. Now we're going to Meteor Rain. Yeah, you died of dysentery at Chuck E. Cheese's. That's because you went in the ball pit, right? Oh, yeah, you died of dysentery. Because you ate from the salad bar. Remember when I was saying don't eat from the salad bar at Chuck E. Cheese's? Okay, so now I've got time to look up more Highland Cow socks. Maybe there's some Bulbasaur slippers on Etsy. Okay, so here is... I just found an eBay listing with a bunch of different Pokemon slippers, but I do not see Bulbasaur as an option. Oh, there is! Fuck yeah, there is! $24.99. Condition new without box. Brand new, ships without box. There are Bulbasaur slippers. They're definitely not official licensed products. Okay, so I need to increase the price on the foot cam, so that I can afford the Bulba slippers. Ba, ba, ba. You want a Bulbasaur? Nice. It's like, it's large enough that it could come with you and sit next to you, on a... You know, the thing... On a roller coaster, right? Yeah, on a plane, train, or car. Roller coaster, exactly. So, is it big enough that if you took it on a plane, it should actually have 2 seats instead of 1? That's when you know you didn't get scammed.
I am the goddess of empathy. Cast off your inhibitions and embrace love, truth, joy.
Oh my God.
Discard your facades and reveal your true being to me.
Thank you, Turtle, for the 1337 bits, and bringing me 1337 bits closer to the, so I think after the stream, I'll buy the Bulbasaur slippers. Probably by the end of the stream, I'll be able to afford the Bulba slippers. Thank you very much, Turtle. Oh, and do you want to name another Shining Force character? I think you're the first person today to contribute at least 420. So if you want to name another Shining Force character, let me know. The current name list is the 3rd tab of the grind document. Shining Force names. Okay, we just got an anonymous turtle looking at the document. At least according to what I see. And if anybody else wants to name a character, the price is $4.20. And either bits or like direct, you know, money, whatever things. Summoning the Goddess of Empathy is a minimum of $13.37. 420 exactly, or $4.20 exactly, produces a gas mask bong. 69 bits exactly is a harpoon. Yeah, or exactly $420,000. If it's $421,000, then you don't get the gas mask bong, so be careful. Alright. I'm not logged into that file, so I'm not able to edit it now, but I'll write that down. Oh, actually, yeah. Now that we're grinding this, we can open our eBay thing or our Etsy thing. Anybody want to guess what this is? Why the resets? Crashing and working out tech problems. Yesterday had a crash at the beginning of the stream, and the rest of the stream after that point was working on tech-related issues. This stream is the first, is the beginning of the second actual try. With our tech situation way better. Like, we actually have, you know, the foot pedal thing arranged now. Star Trek cards, it probably should be Star Trek cards. So, what it should, so, I'm reminded now, Salary Guy, Celery Man says Snow Cone Maker. There was actually, like, a school district that got in trouble. So, like, right after 9/11, there was all sorts of, like, anti-terrorism money that was distributed across the United States. And there was a school district somewhere that got anti-terrorism money. And they spent it on a ice shaving machine. And, like, the rationale that they used to justify it as, like, a security expense was that, okay, let's imagine that somebody got, like, you know, burned because of, like, some sort of fire-based, terrorist attack. Well, then if we could apply shaved ice to them, then that would help, right? That was their actual justification for why this anti-terrorism money could be used on basically a snow cone machine. Alright. This is why I went homeschool. Okay. We're gonna cut it open. Gotta make sure that we don't die. We're running low on pot. This is a new run? Yeah. As of the start of today, we didn't get any progress done yesterday, and we had a crash at the beginning of yesterday's stream. We only lost like 10 hours or so, and we learned a lot in the process of losing that time, so that's good. We're way better off now than we were before. Okay, so apparently this is an envelope that's folded over. Yeah, basically, losing 10 weeks is way worse than losing 10 hours. Okay, KRD is currently the person who is closest to having the correct answer. Okay, there's a packing slip. I'm gonna hide. You already said Durgle? So, are you right? Yeah, the one hint was that it was something that I didn't have already. So this is not a PS2 Slim. Shit. Yeah, I think you can smoke this. I think this is flammable. There's plastic, too. See this? There's plastic inside the cardboard. You know this is awesome. I now finally have a disc-based Game Shark. Okay, so the reason for getting this, everybody knows Ace, right? Ace Zephyr, the FF7 computer science person. He recently developed some Game Shark codes that will allow you to, once those codes are input, that will allow you to display any RAM values, like any RAM values that you choose, and you adjust the code to determine which RAM values to select as what your GIL is. So if you want to have your step ID be displayed instead of GIL, you can Game Shark to display your step ID instead of your GIL. If you want to display, you know, the boss hit points, the enemy number 1 hit points, you can display that instead of your GIL, using some recently developed Game Shark codes. And I got the Game Shark so that I can play with this and test this and stuff. Yeah. So it's set up in such a way that literally any RAM value from Final Fantasy VII can be displayed instead of your GIL. Yeah, they eventually made these after Sony phased out the port that the hardware ones used to plug into. So yeah, so this is going to be really fun to play with, to be able to learn. So this is going to be as close as anybody has ever gotten to having a cheat engine on an actual console playing FF7. Like on a physical, you know, native whatever console. There are a few different releases of it, of the disc-based one. That is the last one. I think Game Shark 5.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Monitor 4 poggers, 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 monitor 4 Johnny, monitor 4 poggers, monitor 4 poggers, monitor 4 poggers.
Thank you for the monitor 4 Johnny. Celery guy. So actually, I think, since I'm in a good mood, Celery, do you want to name a Shining Force character? Go to tab 3. Like, a sub costs more than $4.20, right? And I think somebody else subbed earlier. I think, somebody else did a new sub. Replicant 1, if you're still here. If you want to name a Shining Force character, let me know. I'm starting out with the pricing being like really low for stuff. Aren't subs up to $6.90 now? Yeah, I think so. $6.90 is more than $4.20, so it probably qualifies. Okay, here's Media Rain usage number 1. Yes, it does move at sub-pixel speed. Okay, so blue is going to be the capital A and then as many lowercase a's until we reach the character limit, the size limit. Alright, perfect. That one's easy enough. Domingo has not been named. So, Weed Guy, are you looking at the document? The third tab of the document is up to date with 2 exceptions, and those being that Max and Blue have been named. Anybody else besides Max and Blue who's not showing a name has yet to have a name be claimed. So if you would like to contribute $4.20 or more and then name Domingo, that's available. Ba, ba, ba. We're at 64 subs. We're 5 subs away. Speaking of contributing $4.20 or more.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Oh, actually, let's farm damage here. Thank you for the spin, Weed Guy. Get you a spin. Okay, Bong Cloud is probably too many characters. You get at least 8 characters, but probably not more than 8. And the reason I say... So, the character in Shining Force who has the longest, like, natural name is Bulbaroy at 8. That's probably the character limit. So if you want to do something to shorten Bong Cloud down to 8, he could just be Bong. So one really nice thing about Domingo is that he's very good at being chilled. How do I save the game? I don't. There's no save point out here. In between sessions, so this is being played on a laptop. This is FF7 PC being played on a laptop. In between sessions, I tab out from the game and put the laptop into sleep mode. And then wake up the laptop again at the beginning of the next session. That's currently the strat for in between sessions. What happened the first run? Game crash at the beginning of the second screen. Or beginning of the second stream. And then the rest of stream 2 was spent working out technical issues to try to make sure that we don't get another crash in the future. The tech issues have been, as far as I'm aware, pretty thoroughly solved. And now we're on our way. Okay, Bong Sid. I don't know if you can have a space in the name. If there's no space available, then is this okay? Is Bong Sid like that okay? Otherwise, I'll do... Okay. Like that. Like that, but lowercase. If you can't... I don't know if you can have a space or not. If you can't have a space, then do you want... Then do you want that? Right, cool. Alright, Domingo has been named. So this is the boring part of the run. You grind meteor rain uses. But we've got a single meteor rain use already, and we're at sub 3 hours. We're almost halfway to our second meteor rain. Yeah. Yeah, doing it at 500 is way better than 700. This is, overall, this is going to save a ton of time. Given that I built up potions in advance of this. I haven't wasted any potions on, Blade Beam. I wasted like 3 of them just to finish, just to not lose any of the contribution towards the first Blade Beam. Okay, so somebody asked about the foot pedal crypto cartridge. So you see the pedal over there? So I've got up mapped to this, and this also is used for having Cloud run up. Down is this pedal, and then confirm is the one in the middle. Okay, well now you're not going to be able to see it, because somebody redeemed to make it go away. So, the idea... The cooldown's 2 minutes. The idea is that by being able to do the grind with my feet, that frees my hands up to be able to play other video games. And if you look at my splits, you'll see what I have on deck as the earlier games to be done in the grind. At the very beginning, I'm just doing FF7, because I want to grind limits for Cloud while it's still possible to get them. And I want to at least get Cloud strong enough that I can take my attention away from FF7 for a while without having to worry about Cloud dying. I want Cloud to not be squishy. But once I'm confident that Cloud isn't squishy, then we're going to start playing Dragon Warrior. And then Dragon Warrior 2, and then Shining Force, and etc, etc. If you want to see the full idea, the full, like, list of what we have in mind, for games to be played during the other games besides FF7 to be played during the grind, that's on the first page of this document that I just linked. Yeah, the multitasking is going to make this, like, way, way, way more doable than if it was just, like, being done with a single controller in your hands. Also, just for variety, in addition to the foot pedal, I have this set up. This is what I use for most menuing things. And in addition to that, I've got a wireless keyboard where, like... and then confirm I have a spacebar here. I have an idea. For times like this where there's no foot for the foot can. There's Angus. There's another Highland cow. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, thankfully he hasn't been fattened up enough for him to be able to press the buttons down. I'm probably, yeah, I'm gonna have to kill this dog. I'm gonna kill the dog, pick up the quantum potions, and then I'll finish this limit bar when we get to the end of level 14. Okay, so we are about 800 experience away from level 15. Just before we turn level 15, that's when we'll, get our second, that's when we will complete the second media ring. Oh, actually, we should be getting pretty close now to being able to back row. And that will help a lot with potion accumulation. So at level 15, I'm going to start displaying a completion percentage thing on the screen as well. Bada, 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 bada. No, we're past point 2 already. I think reaching level 15 puts you at 0.28. It won't be daily, but it will be close to being daily, Aghanim. I plan on a minimum of 5 days a week. There's enough real life stuff that I have going on that I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow, but then the next day after that, and then probably at least one day this weekend. Although the weekend might be shorter. But that's just for this week. I plan to be 50 plus, more realistically 69 plus hours a week once I get into this. And I'll basically just go around the clock. Oh, so, Wizzy, I already thought of that. I started this right when we got back, right when my wife and I got back from a 2-week vacation in Brazil. So, we're now set up for the longest time possible before we have another vacation. I actually delayed this until after the Brazil trip was done. I didn't want to start it before Brazil. I wanted to start it after getting back from Brazil. Just so that I would have as much unbroken, not having to worry about vacations, throwing off the scheduling time. So, among like a million other things that I've thought of that other people,
Just a little bit.
that other people are like, oh, well, what about this? Yeah, I thought about that. That's all. That problem has been solved. Thank you for the follow, Wizzy. So back attacks don't actually do more damage against you. The only thing that's different about that fight is that, effectively, Cloud becomes in the back row, because Cloud was in the front row, and then, you know, so, like, the rows get reversed. Back row becomes front row and vice versa, in the context of a back attack. The reason why a back attack seems to do more damage when it does seem to do more damage is because people usually keep their party in the back row, but right now Cloud is in the front. Once Cloud is strong enough that he can one-shot things from the back row, then we will move him into the back row. And then, when he gets back attacked, then he will take more damage. We had a game crash at the beginning of the second stream, Green Pen. And then the rest of the second stream was spent working on tech-related issues. Now that the tech-related issues have, as far as I'm aware, been as fully solved as I can get them, then we're actually starting again. This is the second actual shot at it. But it's way, way better to have a crash, you know, 10 hours in than 10 days in or 10 weeks in. Yeah, the tech issues appear to be solved. To the best of my, you know, as far as I can tell. The crash happened when I was changing one keyboard for another. Yeah, we don't have save states. So, because of that, we need our system to be as stable as possible. So I'm happy that we had that crash when we did, so we could learn from it and make the system significantly more stable. Yeah, we disabled the Windows key. Oh, and you see the foot pedal thing here? Before, what I was doing was trying to control Cloud with a keyboard that was on the floor, and that's why I was hitting the Windows key. But now we're actually using a proper foot pedal, and it's way easier to do this with my feet now than what I was doing in the previous couple streams with a keyboard on the floor. Like, the setup is way better now. Also, another thing, I've changed the controller adapter so that this is now... The previous controller adapter that I was using was disconnecting whenever I would do a sleep and wake cycle on the laptop, and then I would need to unplug and then plug back in the controller adapter, which is a risk of crash if you do that enough times. And now the controller stays... You know, the controller does not get disconnected when I make the computer sleep and then wake up. There are a number of other little things, the other little things, but those are the big things that have been changed. Those are the things that are easy to explain, that have been improved. So, did you literally just get here, Wizzy? You know that this is on a laptop, right? And the reason it's on a laptop is because so that in the case of a power outage, then it will immediately go to battery. Yeah, so an hour ago, so you just got here. So the reason we're on a laptop and not like a desktop computer is so that there's like a internal battery backup in the event of a power outage. So if the power goes out, everything in the room will shut off except for the laptop, and then I'll put the laptop into sleep. And in addition to that, as another layer of redundancy past that, I have a UPS between the laptop and the wall. So I have 2 layers. You really just got here. What about Windows Update? Okay, what do you think? Do you think that I haven't thought about Windows Update? I've definitely solved the Windows Update problem. Windows Update's disabled. The computer is not capable of connecting to Wi-Fi, and the computer is in airplane mode. It's set up so that the only way that it can have internet access is by plugging an Ethernet cable into it. You need to... The only way to start the Steam port of FF7, when you launch it, there's a test against Square Enix's servers, but after that point, you can disconnect it from the internet, and you're good to go. So if there are weather problems, then I end the stream and I put the laptop to sleep until the weather problems resolve themselves. Yeah, so I got in touch with the guy who's playing SimCity, and I didn't just say no tornadoes, I also said no Bowsers and no earthquakes. And no plane crashes. You know the guy who's playing SimCity, right? I should probably play SimCity. I should add SimCity to the list of games to play during the grind. Super Nintendo SimCity, obviously. Like the actual SimCity. None of this modern crap. Okay, 240. I'm gonna grind damage soon. Is Oregon Trail on Good Old Games? I think it's not on Steam. It has to be available freeware somewhere. Or like abandonware. I would be surprised if it's not on Good Old Games. Yeah, the only drop... Both enemies here, the dogs and the Shinra MPs, drop only potions. Potions drop faster than you need to use them to heal. Unless you get super ridiculously, tragically unlucky. I never played Civilization. Only a modern version? Okay. There has to be, like, the original Apple II, 5.5-inch floppy disk, version of it available somewhere. I think the original Apple II one is what people speedrun when they speedrun Oregon Trail. So we could ask the speedrunners how to get it, how to play it. But if I do any of those, if I do any simulation, if I do only one simulation game, it will definitely be the Super Nintendo SimCity. And no, I'm not using the max money rollover cheat thing. We're gonna grind our money the old-fashioned way. By taxing the shit out of our, the people who live in our city. We're gonna make residential donuts. We need one more hit point. Yeah, maybe citizens is the right word. My wife doing level 99 Evil Forest? Maybe I should. I need a second laptop for Evil... You can save at Evil Forest, right? So Evil Forest is easy. Yeah. Can't you save? Okay, archive.org has... Nice. Okay. Alright, so if you can save, then it's effortless. Alright, thank you, Dimensive. Okay, so we'll grind this one for sure. This is gonna be Meteor Rain number 2. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I'm not gonna look into that during the stream, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, and I should put that on my list of things to do tomorrow. I've got, like, actual serious, like, banking-related, financial transaction-related stuff to do on a list. I gotta add Oregon Trail to it. Oh yeah, again. Yeah, we gotta shuffle around those monetary units. That way we can turn on the foot cam. Bada, 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 bada. So has anybody noticed that I'm 5 subs away from having 69 subs? I noticed. Ba, 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 ba. One more pixel. Right, take this, dog. Dog thought he was gonna win the fight. Doggone it, he's dead. Oh, hey, oh, we're 54 again. I thought it was 58. Yeah, so apparently we always have 54, or almost always have 54, max M, or current MP, starting max MP. That sounds like quite possibly the greatest documentary ever made. You are watching the documentary with real Highland cows? Okay, okay. So there was a documentary, and you and some other Highland cows were all, like, together out in a pasture somewhere watching the documentary. Did you pet the Highland cows? Did you brush their hair? I want to watch a documentary with some Highland cows. And, like, feed them pumpkins and stuff. I think they like to eat pumpkins. Okay, so we are definitely not going to be able to get a full limit bar here, but I want to get whatever I can before I level up. I'll go down, I'll use 2 more pots. I don't want to go below, like, 4 pots in my inventory. Oh, they probably should have just asked you, Wizzy, if you were an RPG protagonist. Well, actually, okay. They probably should have asked you if you are from the same, you know, city or town or village or whatever that they're from. Because if that's true, then it's going to burn down soon. You know how, like, the hometown of an RPG protagonist is always exceptionally flammable? And you know how the behavior of going into people's houses and just opening all of the cupboards is very, very strongly indicative of being an RPG protagonist? Okay, when you see that, you want to hope that they're from a different town and not from your town. All this Twitch money, yeah. Tens of dollars can get you, several blades of grass worth, probably. Well, you probably should have saved the game before you did that, Wizzy. Actually, this is a good time to see if anything is happening. You know, on the internet. Okay, Kato is playing FF8. Hutski is doing FF9. Nikolon is doing FF9. Swoogie is doing FF8. Is anybody playing FF7? Did everybody forget that FF7 was awesome? Chutro Mogzium is also doing FF9. Hundemesis. Disfiguring the goddess, Hundemesis. So, A hundo including Nemesis. Or probably that's Nemesis, but with more stuff. Let's see what this looks like. I wonder what the time estimate is for this. Okay, looks like it's on PS2. Okay, I'm gonna kill the dog. I don't want to use more potions here. And when we get to... Okay, we're about to reach level 15. Right before we level up, that's when we spend the rest of our... spend down our potions to accumulate damage. Oh, it sounds like it might be raining. And if that's the case, we might have to end the stream relatively early because of weather. That's unfortunate. I have to check the weather once I get to where I'm able to farm damage. It sounds like rain outside. Yeah, there's a storm coming through. Does a little bit of rain knock out the power? I don't want to risk anything. Okay, now we're level 15. Like, now is not the time from where I want to take risks. The risk... I don't want to take... Yeah, I do have a UPS, that's correct. But the only thing connected to the UPS is the laptop. So like the streaming computer and everything else is not on the UPS. And that's to have as much battery as possible dedicated for the laptop. Hold on. But yeah, it looks bad enough that there's likely to be lightning, and any kind of electrical storm. I don't want to be streaming this. See what weather.gov says. Well, I can just look outside and see that it's bad. Chance of showers and thunderstorms, then showers and possibly a thunderstorm after 5 p.m. and it's 4:41 p.m. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely mainly before 8 p.m. Maybe I'll be on again in the night. Once this goes through, I might get back on. I just want to get an idea as to when possibly it'll be back. When possibly. There is a marginal risk of severe weather today. That's what weather.com says. Okay, so allegedly, everything should be clear by like 8 p.m. or like 3 more hours. Yeah, that Sim City guy, I think he's asleep at the wheel. Yeah, I'm gonna end this here. I'll probably be back on later. I don't have any problems or hesitation or whatever doing multiple streams in the same day. I would like to... So if we start at like 8, then I'll go until like 3 or 4 a.m. or something like that. Okay, so we currently... The next fight is where I'm gonna stop it. We currently are at this. Hey, disfiguring. I'm about to end the stream because of weather concerns. I'll probably be back on once the thunderstorm goes through. But good luck, have fun on your FF10 insane run. What? Oh, disfiguring. What's your time estimate for the FF10 100% on PS2?
You're following me.
Just a little bit.
.546 out of 552 hit points, and our Gil is 4290. Time is 3:31. Okay. So we are gonna... Oh, this is also gonna function as a test for, like, making sure the controller survives sleep mode and everything. Okay, so the safest way, in my experience so far, to interrupt is to pause in battle. If there's music, so when you pause in battle, then there's no music. Like, we interrupted the battle music. If FF7 is doing music when you sleep and then wake up the computer, then sometimes it'll stop playing the background music. But by pausing, it appears to prevent that issue from occurring. So the way we deal with this is pause, tab out, alt tab, and then sleep. It's not just PC, it's a laptop. The reason for using a laptop, we can't save because there's no save point at the beginning or whatever. But the reason it's a laptop is so that in between sessions I can put the thing to sleep. Okay, the reason for a laptop specifically is because it's got an internal battery. So if the power goes out, everything else in the room will die, but the laptop will keep going because it'll immediately go to battery. And in addition to that, I also have an uninterruptible power supply, basically a battery between the laptop and the wall. So I've got 2 layers of battery redundancy for the laptop, but I don't have any of that kind of protection for any of the other stream stuff, and I just don't want to take any risks. So I'm stopping this here for now. I will probably be back once this storm goes through, which is expected to be in like 3 to 4 hours. See you guys later. Oh, actually, you're still playing, right? Disfiguring? Or did your stream end? Can we raid you?